Good evening, everyone. We're going to do a couple things a little different today. I apologize. It's having a little difficulty, so I hope you'll bear with me and with us. But we're going to go ahead and start the city council for the city of Gonzales for May 19th, 2025. And Liz, would you please be so kind as to start? Let me lead us in the pledge of allegiance.
Yeah.
Thank you. Mary, could we please have roll call?
Mayor Pro Tem Liz Silva,
Present.
Councilmember Scott Funk,
Present.
Councilmember Lorraine Worthy,
Present.
Councilmember Maria Roscoe.
Present.
And Mayor Jose Rios.
Present. First item on the agenda is Fairview Middle School's essay award winners, and I believe Ms. Worthy is going to take care of that.
Missing. So I'm wondering if, let's move on to the next item and then let's see if she comes.
Okay.
We can do the presentation. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. We have two resolutions. What would work best, Michael, if we read both resolutions and then ask for approval from council, or do we read each one individually and then ask for the motion?
These are for the department.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, probably separate.
Okay. Carmen, would you be so kind as to read the first one?
Sure, I'm gonna go ahead and have Jessica Olmedo come up to read it for us. But first of all, I want to just thank the two clubs that really supported the planning and coordination and execution of the car show this year. Gonzales Customs and Street Lives were tremendous partners in making the car show a success. And I want to mention that the car show grossed just under $5,000. That is going to be support to help us put on holiday lights this year. So the folks wanted to ensure that any money raised went to support youth programming. And so we're going to go ahead and use it specifically for that. So we are very thankful. So with that, Jessica and Julie, you guys are going to come up and read the resolutions for each of the car clubs.
Good evening, everyone. So starting off with the resolution for the Gonzales Customs Car Club. Resolution number 2025-24, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Gonzales honoring the Gonzales Customs Car Club for their collaboration on the city's third annual Show and Shine Car Show of April 5th, 2025. Whereas the City Council of Gonzales first called for the Show and Shine Car Show to be organized in 2022 in the downtown area of Gonzales as part of the 75th year celebration of the town's incorporation. And whereas in its third year, the annual car show has proved to be a success, bringing out car enthusiasts from near and far to visit and enjoy the day. And whereas this year, we had the support from two car clubs that helped us organize the day, promote the show, serve as judges, and ensure that things ran smoothly. And whereas Gonzales Custom was one of the car clubs that supported the city in making the car show a success, and whereas Gonzales Customs and its members have a passion for helping their communities and the children who reside in them. And whereas Gonzales Custom members showcase their generosity by providing raffle prizes, including bikes for kids that were raffled on the day of the car show. And whereas the car show with their support generated funding for kid programming, which will be used to support the Holiday Lights event this year that is geared towards children and youth of the community, bringing holiday spirit to them and their families during the Christmas season. Now, therefore, the City Council of the City of Gonzales hereby honors the Gonzales Custom Car Club for their support and tremendous efforts in helping put on a successful 2025 car show, passed and adopted by the City Council. Oh,
Not yet, not
sorry.
yet.
I got ahead of myself.
That resolution being read, I need a motion for approval.
So move.
So moved.
Second.
Second, okay, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Now, proceed.
If I can have the members come up.
Should I go back?
Yes.
Give me a second, I'll be right up there.
He's coming. Then you want to say a few words? Have Johnny do all the talking.
My name is Juan de la Rosa from Dolls Customs, and just want to say thank you guys for letting us help out on the show, and hopefully we keep on supporting you guys, you know, we do it for the kids. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it. I apologize. Thanks. Can I take a picture?
Yeah, sure. We're at
Up there, that's the council. Thank you.
Juan, help the mayor. Help the mayor.
Make sure you smile, Johnny.
I'll get between. I'll do my signature.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. We do too. All right, we like it. Thank you.
So much. Oh, you bet. Thanks for helping us. Okay.
A resolution of the City Council of the City of Gonzales honoring Street Life Car Club for their
leave it?
collaboration.
There you go. Thank you.
Do I need to start again?
No.
Okay, for their, okay. A resolution of the City Council of the City of Gonzales honoring the Street Life Club for their collaboration on the city's third annual car show and shine of April 5th, 2025. Whereas the City Council of the City of Gonzales first called the show and shine car show to be organized in 2022 in the downtown area of Gonzales as part of the 75th year celebration of the town's incorporation, and whereas in the third year of the annual car show has provided to be success, bringing out car enthusiasts from near and far to visit and enjoy the day. And whereas we had supported from 2 car clubs that helped us organize the day, promote the show, serve as judges, and to ensure that things ran smoothly. And whereas Street Life Car Club was one of the car clubs that supported the city in making the car show a success. And whereas Street Life was established in Salinas, California in 1983 and continues to grow strong till this day with members residing in Gonzales, Salinas, Soledad, Hollister, Redding, and whereas Street Life and its members have a passion for helping their communities. And whereas the car show with the support of generated funding for kid programming, which will be used to support the Holiday Light event this year, that is geared towards children and youth of the community, bringing holiday spirit to them and their families during the Christmas season. Now, therefore, the City Council of the City of Gonzales hereby honor the Street Life Club for the support and tremendous efforts in helping put on the successful 2025 car show.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve resolution number 2025-25 as presented.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Resolution and say a few words if they like. Or say a few words.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We just want to say thank you on behalf of Street Life Car Club. And it was an honor for collaborating with you guys. And we're glad we're able to help you guys with, bringing the cars in. And, our goal is to better our future. And the only way we can better our future is by focusing on our youth. And when they said that, funds were going to be used for recreation center for the kids, we said, we're in 100%. So that's what we're all about, is helping the community and looking forward to our future, which is our kids. So thank you.
I don't know what she got on the phone, but she got a special day for it. Thank you so much for being part of it. This year of the sites. Oh, it's all. You might get to see it today.
I'm gonna have to head between two.
And I'll do tippy toes, so it looks like I'm talking.
Okay.
We could. Okay.
Is she here? Is the?
Yeah, her
Okay,
kids, so they're.
all right, so we're gonna go back to item number one.
No,
and-
number two.
Excuse me, number two.
I think it's
And Lorraine, you're gonna read it, right?
right. If I could get Evangeline and Giancarlo to come on up. Guys, how are you? I'm good. Nice to see you both. On behalf of the Gonzales City Council, we have a certificate of recognition for you today. On behalf of the City Council of the City of Gonzales, we would like to express our recognition and congratulations for first place winner Evangeline Garcia for the American Legion Auxiliary Unit 81 Essay Contest. What does it mean to me to be an American? We are proud of your accomplishment and for representing your school and community with the highest degree of integrity, dignity, and honor. Once again, congratulations for a job well done. So this is for you, Evangeline. Uh-huh. And I want to read Giancarlo's as well because I want to tell them both something that happened over the weekend that they don't know about yet. Okay, Giancarlo Rodriguez, on behalf of the City Council of the City of Gonzales, we would like to express our congratulations for first place winner, American Legion Auxiliary Unit 81 Essay Contest. Why do we have the Constitution of the United States? We are proud of your accomplishment and for representing your school and community with the highest degree of integrity, dignity, and honor. Once again, congratulations for a job well done. Giancarlo is an 8th grader at Fairview School. Evangeline is a 7th grader at Fairview School. And over the weekend, the district for the auxiliary, they have won the district for first place for their essay contest. So which means they will move on to the state of California for their essays. So they both get a certificate, first place for the, I won't go through the whole thing again, but this one is for Giancarlo. There's also cash prize, which is very important for us. And this one is for Evangeline. Congratulations. As I told both of them before, make sure you put all this stuff in a file. So when it's time for you to go to college, you can show all that great stuff that you accomplished, even when you were in 7th and 8th grade, which is really important. So can we get a picture?
Yep.
Okay, so let's do that.
What'd you come over? Oh, no, that's fine.
You're fine.
If I-
You guys want to put up your certificates?
Mrs. Garcia, who is their instructor, for supporting this project. She has been instrumental in having us get this done. And she's also going to have a baby very soon. So I'm very excited. Yeah.
Ready for
Okay.
pictures?
1, 2, 3.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Do you have anything to say?
Congratulations.
Thank you. If you guys have anything to say, you're more than welcome to step up to the podium.
I think that look, it spoke well.
They already wrote it down.
Yeah, I missed that. I missed that.
That's okay.
I want to
I'll
see
give
that.
you
Huh?
I'll give you the play-by-play.
Thank you, Liz. I appreciate it. Okay, next we have proclamation 2025-03 proclaiming the week of May 19th to the 24th as Public Works Week. Who is doing the report on that?
And
Wait.
we have the problem.
Do I read it or
Oh, excuse me,
who's gonna read it?
is that a proclamation that we do have to make a motion on?
Yeah.
Okay, okay, so do I have,
Ms. Silva is gonna read.
okay, you want to read it first, or do you want to make the motion and then read it?
No, I need to read it so that everybody can hear it.
Okay.
And then-
All right, sounds
You're
good.
getting me all confused.
Sorry.
Proclamation number 2025-03. Whereas Public Works staff is responsible for the infrastructure, facilities, and services that are of vital importance to sustainable and resilient communities and to the public health, high quality of life, and well-being of residents, visitors, and businesses. And whereas such facilities and services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of public works managers, engineers, and staff from public agencies and the private sector, responsible for improving and protecting our nation's transportation, water supply, water treatment, solid waste systems, public buildings, and other facilities essential to serve our communities. And whereas it is in the public interest for civic leaders, residents, and business owners to gain knowledge of and understand the public works programs in their communities. And whereas the American Public Works Association has celebrated National Public Works Week since 1960. And whereas in keeping with this year's National Public Works Week theme of people, purpose, presence, which highlights the cornerstones that motivate public works professionals to serve their communities every day, the public works staff with the cities of Gonzales, Soledad, Greenfield, and King City regularly collaborate on various public works aspects, including coordinating the training of our public works field personnel. And whereas the city of Gonzales is an active member of the American Public Works Association, including participating in events held by the Monterey Bay chapter. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that I, Mayor Jose Rios, on behalf of the City Council of the City of Gonzales, do hereby proclaim the week of May 18th to 24th, 2025 as National Public Works Week, and urge our residents to join with representatives of the American Public Works Association and government agencies in activities and ceremonies that pay tribute to our public works professionals, engineers, managers, and employees, and recognize the substantial contributions they make to our community's health, safety, and quality of life.
I move to approve.
Second. A motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Patrick, do you have any additional words for the council?
Thanks, Mayor and Council, for adopting the proclamation. Yeah, I was at a National Public Works Week event yesterday at Toro Park, put on by County of Monterey, City of Salinas, and APWA staff. Had a table, family friendly event. And just to say it, and I didn't do the math, but Public Works Director Randy Ishii of the county mentioned, yeah, this is the 65th year for National Public Works Week. And you have a very dedicated field staff, Public Works Department, have an awful lot going on. So thanks for the proclamation.
You.
Thank you.
All right, next item on the agenda is a community center progress update.
So that'll be presented by Luis Flores, Construction Manager Harrison Associates, and Tyler Verdan, am I close? Verdu of Auto Construction. So they have a little bit of it's the slide deck that's in your packet that they'll be stepping through, Mayor.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor Rios and City Council members, community members. My name is Luis Flores, and I've been here a couple of times meeting with you, and this is one of my favorite things about the project. Just coming here to the council and giving you updates, giving the community updates on all the progress we've made to date. So today I'm here joined with Tyler Verdun, and we're going to give you an update on construction activities that have happened since last March, or a couple months ago. And so a brief overview of the presentation, we'll go over all the milestones completed to date. We'll give you an update on construction activities over the last 2 months, a little outlook on the upcoming activities on our schedule, an update on community engagement efforts, and then we'll conclude with some questions. All right, so high-level milestones completed to date. So as you're all aware, we've completed installation of all of the underground utilities on the project. So all the water, sewer, storm have been connected. power and telecommunications are still pending, and those are forthcoming in the next couple of months. Building top out, we've completed roughing of all of the building's mechanical, electrical, plumbing, and fire sprinkler systems. Exterior storefront systems, so both storefront and curtain wall are installed, and both of the different types of roofs are installed. So we have a metal roof and a TPO roof. And then the building is weather tight as of March. And so for this project update, we divided the presentation into the three major components of the project. So site work, the building exterior, building interior. And so we start off with the site work. So some of the improvements that have taken place since the last time we met have primarily been site concrete. So we poured a number of the different pathways, vehicular concrete, curbs around the site. In the courtyard, we've placed the seat walls and the planter walls that are adjacent to the library. Out at Fifth Street, which you probably noticed a couple weeks back, there was some road work going on. We were extending the PG&E electrical primary conduit across the street, where PG&E will eventually set a new power pole. And then inside, a couple more things that have happened are the installation of the site light poles. So in some of the photos that you'll see here shortly, you'll see some of the light poles going on. And then lastly, the exterior transformers for the EV car chargers. So we will have 6 dual head EV car chargers on the project, and the transformers are in, the mechanical equipment is in. Again, we're just pending our switchgear and eventually our power. And so up on the board, you could see a couple different photos. I added some captions to kind of show you a little bit of what's going on. So we start on the top left. So that was a concrete pump that was on site a couple months ago. So that was taking care of the placement of the various different concrete components of the project. So we had, as I mentioned earlier, the seat walls, the planter walls. There was a retaining wall that was also poured. You can't really see it on the photo, but it's on the west side of the property, adjacent to the Head Start next door. Site concrete placement in the middle. The PG&E electrical trench work it's kind of blocked by the Zoom video, but yeah, that's some of the work going on there. And then bottom left, you see the formwork for what will eventually become the amphitheater seating. The parking lot, as you can see, that was paved back in December, and you can see a couple of the light pole bases that are in place now. And then on the bottom right-hand corner, you have one of the electrician's working on one of the transformers for the EV car chargers. So with that, I'll pass it along to Tyler, and he'll give you an update on the building exterior and the interior as well.
Thanks for having me. Tyler Verdun. I'm an assistant project manager on this project. So the building exterior, in this last month, we've continued the installation of the storefront systems by installing the pressure bar and the beauty caps. We'll see pictures on the next slide. All the exterior flashing is complete, and the EIFS base coat is complete. 80% of that finish coat is complete as of this month. So on the top left, you can see the pressure caps. Those are the silver pieces you can see on the mullions. They keep everything in place. Middle top, that's flashing around the EIFS walls. The EIFS installation, that's the top right. So you see foam, and then there's a waterproofing. That's the blue stuff that goes on there. Bottom left, we have the EIFS base coat. You see that's the gray. This is just the base before the color. And then the bottom middle and the bottom right, we see the finish coat going in. So we have white, and then we have a golden harvest on the left, and I forget what the color is on the right, but it's that other nice color.
Burnt orange.
Yeah. Now, the interior, the electrical sub panels have been installed, so ready to just receive that power. We've got casework in 2 locations installed, drywalls on both sides of each wall in the interior. Screw inspections were completed, taping and finishing is in progress on those drywall. And once again, casework was in progress, and we have ceramic tile in the restroom, so that's still in progress. Let's see some pictures, please. Right, top left, we have some of that tile, ceramic tile on the wall and the floor, waiting the lavs and all the other bathroom accessories. Top middle, we have drywall taping, so they're covering all those seams. To the right, you see more taping and mudding on the drywall as they They float that mud across the wall, give it a nice texture. Casework on the bottom left, that's in the library back of house staff area. There'll be a refrigerator that slides in there, and then casework in the teen classroom. And a little more drywall finished in the library. So here's our time lapse. It's 1 minute long. Not gonna be able to see everything in the interior, but we see them working on the base for the flat work, the concrete, and so that got poured quickly in this video. Things are still progressing as they do some form work. We have to handle a little bit of weather, but form work for more flat work is taking place at this time. A retaining wall on the left was getting prepared for concrete pour. You'll see that concrete truck with a big pump here in a few moments. You do see a boom lift circling around the building. That's them installing the curtain wall system, our big large windows. And we're starting to see a little bit of color on the ephes. Should be seeing that shortly as well. I was fooled by the color of the sun. Okay. That's it. And then this will be my last slide. We'll talk about some of the upcoming milestones. We'll plan to have the landscaping substantial completion. That's July 11th coming up. Permanent power October 27th. Substantial completion being November 17th. And the only real challenge risk that we're foreseeing at this time is just, kind of have to wait on that electrical main switch gear. So the ETA is held steady at October 23rd, and then the PG&E power procurement, we have been working closely with the help of many people here and Patrick, closely with PG&E to try and do what we can about condensing the lead time of getting on their schedule once the switch gear has been delivered. Thank you. I'll go back to Luis now.
All right, and community engagement efforts. So not a whole lot has happened again in the last couple of months, but we have been planning some upcoming activities in the next couple of months. So today, actually, we met with a local Gonzales High School teacher, and we're going to be planning a couple construction site visits for local students the last week of school, which is a couple of weeks from now. And then we'll be planning something with her summer session in July. And then we'll also be planning some more visits and then construction career presentations in early fall. And so that's what we have coming up in the next couple of months in terms of community engagement. And then with that, really that concludes our presentation. We'll open it up to questions. As you can see here on this last slide, I just threw in a couple photos, one of the rendering during design, and then one what it looks like now to just kind of show you we're almost there.
Thanks, Luis. Thanks, Tyler. Any questions?
Council, we'll start on this side. Lorraine?
It looks like you guys are pretty much on time, so you're just kind of waiting for, does it sound like PG&E is the one holding us up?
So
He said it's switchgear.
I know.
yeah, no, so construction is still progressing well along with our baseline schedule. And so there is going to be a point here in the next couple of months where, we'll be pretty much substantially complete with construction and waiting on power. And really that date is going to be dictated by the switchgear deliveries. Right now, we've been tracking July 23rd, assuming that holds, we have our, breakout schedule set in place for the next activities that would follow leading up to PG&E. And so that is the critical path. And so if that switchgear delivery moves forward or moves upward, it kind of affects the schedule, either positively or negatively, depending on where it goes.
Well, and I think you're entering into a potentially, knock on wood, good time of year where the weather will hopefully will stay with us in the right ways.
Yeah,
Anyway.
no, absolutely.
All right.
We've lucked out with.
Thank you. It's looking really great. I mean, every time I pass it, I see something new. Thank you very much for the present.
I have something.
Liz, go ahead.
And I love driving by and stopping and taking progressive tip pictures. I mean, my pictures don't do justice to yours, but I enjoy it, and I usually wave at all the people that are working there because I'm so thankful. And it's been on course. I'm excited. I can hardly wait to until we do the ribbon cutting. But my one question, what is TPO?
So it's, the exact engineering term is it's like thermal polyesterine. It's basically like a white, thin, plastic-like substrate that essentially seals the roof. And
Is it
so-
like that Tyvek that kind of hangs over the edges right now?
Yeah, no, so it's not like that. So that is like the weatherproofing that's underneath. And so if you go back a couple slides, you might be able to see it, but it's what you, like if you've looked at any commercial buildings or photos of roofs, it's like a bright white plastic looking material, but it's a composite material made of, again, the exact engineering term, I think it's like thermal polyester
Oh.
membrane, and it's a typical commercial roof system.
Well, since I can't get that high with, on the street side, I'm going like, what is TPO?
Like
Thank
a
you.
pool liner,
Okay,
old pool liners.
Yeah. well,
Yeah,
thank
actually,
you.
these photos don't really show it, but I can send you a close-up next time.
Necessary. It just like one of those acronyms that kind of caught my ears.
Yeah.
Thank you for your continued work on this. I continue to be amazed every time I drive by, so thank you.
Mr. Funk,
Yeah, nothing additional. Yeah, thanks for the update. Appreciate it.
Mr. Roscoe. Couple quick questions. So your main switch panel won't get here until the October 23rd, correct?
July
Bye.
23rd.
So you'll actually have the main switch panel July 23rd,
Yes, that's what we're tracking right now, July 23rd.
but you'll have it here, but won't have it in place.
Right. That's the delivery date. And then after that, there's probably 2 weeks worth of work to get it set up and get it installed, hooked up, and before we're ready for PG&E inspection and then an inspection by Four Leaf, the local inspector.
So we're looking then in August at the earliest for it to be,
To be ready, to be ready for inspection, yes.
okay. I have a few friends in little places over there, so let me know when you get a little closer and I'll see what we can do.
Yeah, absolutely. We appreciate it.
Matter of fact, I've got right next door the lineman, so. And he loves doing work in Gonzales. I wonder why. Yeah. The other question I had for you, the main panel, 1 meter or 2?
2 meters.
2 meters, one for the library and the rest for the rest of the community, right?
Right, yeah.
Okay, great. That sounds good. I was kind of concerned about that the city wasn't going to be picking up the utility costs for the library. Not that I'm worried that they're going to leave the lights on. If they do, that's on them.
Yeah, no,
Right?
they're separate meters.
Great.
For water as well.
All right. sounds-
Remember, if I could just add on.
Absolutely.
Conversation about PG&E. So we're in communication with the PG&E government affairs folks, basically asking to expedite to the degree they can, the field activities at their end. So we're definitely working to compress the time frame to get permanent power for this very important project.
Okay. And at this point, have they given you working drawings yet?
PG&E?
Huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we have their drawing already, and we've already completed a couple inspections. So they inspected the trench work across Fifth Street already. And so we'll, we have
I'm
a-
assuming they're going to put in a pad mounted transformer, correct?
yeah,
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Thank you very
Ma-
much.
Mayor, I just have one addition. I was gonna make the pitch at the end of the meeting, but I might as well make it now. We are currently taking paver donations for pavers. So if you want to purchase a paver in memory of somebody or your family's name or whatever it is, that deadline has been extended till May 30th. But now's the time to make sure you get in there and can honor somebody in either your family or a loved one, just be part of history.
Thank you for bringing that up. I was being scolded because I hadn't brought the check over to City Hall. And, I immediately called and I think it was Marisol that answered and she said, "Oh, no, it's been extended." I'm like, you see, it's been extended. I told you. Anyway, I'm happy to hear that. And yes, definitely, if you haven't taken that opportunity, please do so. It came in the building. That's how my wife saw it because we're kind of, I can't see and she doesn't hates computers. So, the flyer was an excellent way of getting that communication out to everyone. So, definitely. Thank you again for your diligent work and keep coming.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, our pleasure.
Your
Thank
time.
you.
Thank you. All right, moving on. Communication from the public. Any member of the public at this point may address the council for a period not to exceed 3 minutes on any subject not on the agenda. The council will listen to all communications, but will take no action and will make no comment. Podium is open. No one?
Yeah, just a second, he's getting his bag.
Okay. Grandpa's meds wasn't taken with me when I was arrested. Gonzalez Real News. I have an issue. Last meeting, you guys talked about a workers' comp. Not talking about the workers' comp case, talking about the person having the workers' comp case. Sergeant Mendoza. Gonzalez Real News wants to know if the worker comp case was prior to 4th of July. Was he hurt? Was he on any kind of meds on the 4th of July from the injury that he supposedly sustained? If he was, that explains why he assaulted me, felony assault against me. We're gonna find out if he was on meds on the 4th of July. Second of all, if it was after the 4th of July, you're gonna give him an easy way out like you did the chief to retire him? He's probably doing this so he can avoid being charged with a felony assault. First time he hit me, it was he had no more being a police officer. Second time he hit me with the flashlight was the flashlight, which was considered an assault weapon. Hit me with it. Chair. Yes, sir. Mr. Martinez, the individual who's workers' comp. I'm not talking about the works comp.
Well, what are you talking about?
Well, I'm just want to make sure that two people on the board should have stepped down when they voted for that police officer who filed for workers' comp because they have personal interest. Because at the park, he didn't do his job telling the truck parked in a bus zone to move or ticket him. He didn't see the box of beers in the box next to him in the same picture. You see a big giant box of some kind of Pacifico beer. He didn't patrol the park. According to Mr. Roman, that he said he saw people walking there with the beers. And I had taken a picture of the officer and I didn't realize next to him was a box of beer and it shouldn't have been there. And then the truck over here and parked in the red zone, he didn't ticket them or anything. He just had a conversation with them and left. So I don't know if he's.
I think you might have the individuals mixed up.
Huh?
I think you may have the individuals mixed up.
Yes.
I do?
Yes.
Well, anyway, still I'm bringing up the cop issue anyway. He assaulted me and he's still on the job.
The individual whose workers' comp claim did not assault you, that's a different individual.
Not
So-
sergeant.
No, captain.
Captain.
Oh, well, yeah, that's my son's problem right there then. He's gonna take care of him later.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Roman Barba. I just want to let everybody know that when the police officers did a search warrant on my house, I did not commit a crime. Just to let you know that. See, I got my cell phone back, right? That tells me there was no evidence on it because there's still that case that's going to court still hasn't finished yet. So another thing I wanted to talk about, when I went to go get my phone from the police department, they wanted a copy of my driver's license. They said it was policy that they needed a copy of my policy to get my phone back. They said it was city policy. Well, guess what? I told them all they needed was a signature. So I got it back with just a signature, not a copy of my driver's license, which is crazy. Another thing was when I got my phone back, I signed for it. They made me sign a form for it. So I asked for a copy of that form. They didn't want to give it to me. They said it was policy that I can't not get a copy of the form that I just signed to get my phone back. So that's like a receipt, right? So Is that policy? When I go get my phone, I sign a form and they didn't want to give me that form. And the police officer told me it was on, that's recorded too. I got it on. Also too, when they went into my house, the officers threatened me. They threatened me by saying, if I erase anything off my phone or download it onto another device, that I could get arrested, that they would arrest me and charge me. It's my cell phone. It's my property. How can they arrest me when it's my property, my phone? If I wanted to erase something off it, I can. And another thing, when I went to these lawyers, I talked to 4 different lawyers, right? Just to find, they're all different type of lawyers for all different, you got the injury lawsuit lawyers. They told me that this police department is a joke. That's just the worst in South County. So this police department is being run terrible. So, if we file these lawsuits, then you guys know that I have a lawsuit here, right? And you guys know by looking at the evidence, because I didn't commit a crime. They went to my house and they searched my house. They took my phone. The second thing, they don't have a second search warrant to go through my phone. They need a second search warrant to go through my phone. So they took my phone. The search warrant tells me we're going to take your property. Doesn't say they're going to search my phone. That's another thing. You're very bad, Mr. Wise.
Thank you, Mr. Barba. Anyone else wishing to speak? I don't see anybody. Marisol, do we have anyone via Zoom?
No comments via Zoom.
Thank you. Mary, any comments yet?
No
Yeah.
comments via email.
Thank you. We're gonna go ahead and close the public meeting and move on to the consent agenda. All right, if you've had an opportunity to review the consent agenda, anyone want to pull an item list? Liz, okay?
Okay.
Anybody else?
Lorraine.
Lorraine, okay? Nobody on this side? Thank you. We'll start with Liz.
Clarification on item number 9 under the warrants. Page 30. Under national demographics. There's an expense of $18,250. I thought we did that a long time ago. I was just surprised to see another expense for that.
We did. I too was surprised. At some point it fell off. It was, if you recall, there was a partnership with Soledad. And for some reason it was sent to Mr. Rodriguez's office. And so somehow it got derailed. We've double checked that it wasn't paid. And so that's why it's being paid now. But it is for that work that happened a year ago at this point.
Okay, so this is the final?
Yes.
Okay, thank you for the clarification.
Lorraine?
Okay, I also have, need clarification or more information on page 30 as well. It's another warrant under US Bank. The credit cards for $10,224.25. I thought we had a conversation about with the new system that we were going to be able to itemize those somehow.
We can itemize them. The other way that we can do it prints out about 30 pages because it goes into every single detail of everything. I don't know if it actually is more clear. I think it will provide more confusion because it's like I said, 30 pages just of warrants. But we can send you the itemized details on that warrant.
It was just exceptionally high to me. That's the only reason I brought it up.
Sure, sure.
Because normally it isn't that high. So
Yeah.
that's why I kind of was like, that's just interesting. So,
Can you just tell me the?
yeah, it's 3577 on page 30. Credit card purchases, there's one for $693.89, then there's one for $1,016, one for $5,140, one for $3,371.15. It's just a high amount. That's the only reason that I kind of pulled it up in my mind. 3577, page 30. It's under US Bank, kind of in the middle of the warrants.
Let me send the
Yeah,
itemized.
yeah, that's fine.
That'd be great.
information.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, if there's no other comments, then I'll entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
Go ahead.
Through the chair, we are actually pulling item 19 from the consent calendar.
Oh, we're gonna go ahead and pull it?
Yeah.
We'll get an update. Okay, we'll put it on item 19.
Okay.
Do I have a motion to approve the rest of the items on the
So
consent agenda?
moved.
Yeah, I just want clarification.
Excluding.
Pulling it from any action at all this evening. It will come back
Pulling
in a
it.
subsequent.
Okay.
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 We'll pull it number 19, okay?
Can I go back and just answer Ms. Worthy's question?
Yes.
That's actually the total of all the credit cards. So,
I think he
okay.
gets that.
No, I
just
know
wanted-
that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm aware. But they're not usually that high. So that's why. I definitely know that. Thank you.
So having pulled item 19, we still have a motion on the floor.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, consent agenda passes. At this point, you gotta learn when to fold the gloves. So I am gonna ask Ms. Silva if she'd be so kind as to finish the rest of the agenda. I'm sorry, I just cannot read it and I had a lot to retain this evening, so Ms. Silva, would you be so kind?
Will do. Item number 21 on tonight's agenda, Gonzales Police Department's AB 481 Annual Report, Staff Report.
Mayor and council, as you'll recall back in 2022, the city council adopted an ordinance approving the Gonzales Police Department's policy, manual policy 709, which was on military equipment. Had to do with military equipment that's owned by the police department. By law, that ordinance has to be reviewed on an annual basis to see whether or not it needs to be updated. Additionally, the police department is required to prepare an annual report on the military equipment possessed by the police department. The report basically sets forth the type of equipment the department has, how it's used, and associated costs among other items. And so the police department has prepared that report. It's part of your agenda this evening. And so the only thing that the council needs to do this evening is to accept the report and accept any public comment we might have, and then direct staff to have the annual report posted on both the police department and the city website for a period of at least 30 days, and then schedule a public hearing to discuss the report and the use and acquisition of military equipment. I will note that there has been no additional acquisition of military equipment in this fiscal year, and there is no anticipated purchase of additional military equipment for the upcoming year. And staff has scheduled the date of July 21st of 2025, that city council meeting, for the review of the ordinance and the review of the report as well. So the only thing you need to do this evening is to take any public comment you might have on the annual report that's in your packet, and then direct staff, as I've indicated, to go ahead and do the necessary posting.
Thank you. I'll open it up for public comment.
Citizen Henry Martinez, 112 10th Street. Again, I state, we cannot trust them with military use equipment. He misused the drone on the 4th of July. The police department did. On the 4th of July, when I'm being assaulted, that drone operator should have been flying the drone, catching the other people popping fireworks, because as soon as they found out that 12 officers from Gonzales and other cities were at my house, hitting me and attacking my family, the whole neighborhood started popping like crazy, across the street too. And where was the drone operator? Hitting me. And I told you before we gave him the drone, I was not against the drone, just the operators, the police department. You give me new people, new staff, then I have no argument of use of military equipment. He proved twice, showing the video of a person in the front yard, which was, it was evidence of them popping fireworks. It should have only been shown to the court. Then He parks the drone and comes to my house. That's why the tickets were canceled, because he has assaulted me with a felony. His videos become ill and void. All 11 tickets were dropped. And issuing them right now or anytime in the future, these same cops, is a joke. They prove to you guys over and over how they violate that. We don't even have non-lethal weapons. Do we have bean bags? No, we do not. Do we have road spikes, tire spikes? No, we don't. Do we have body shields to cover a body on the ground? No, we don't. We should be having all this other stuff instead of buying military equipment. We should be using non-lethals. They should go back to using the baton instead of shoot one of our fellow residents in the forehead because he had a knife in his hand with a hollow point bullet. You know what happens when it goes in your brains? It shatters in your brains. That was not just an accidental shooting. That was an assassin. You know, and you still want to work with these cops? You know, they assaulted me twice. They falsely arrested me. They dragged me to jail. I suffered a seizure because they didn't take my meds with me. I told the cops to grab my meds. They're in the car, the red bag I carry. He said no. When my family was trying to get medicines to me, he said no.
Is there anyone else from the public who would like to step up to the podium tonight? Seeing none, is there anyone on Zoom?
No comments via Zoom.
Is there anyone on email?
No comments via email.
Thank you. I'll bring it back to the council for further discussion. Any council member have any comments or questions? Ben? Eugene?
No, thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. I'll make the motion. We accept the report and direct staff to post on the police department and city's website and direct the meeting to allow public questions and input on the report appropriately publicized before July 21st meeting.
Second. It's been moved and seconded to approve this item. Any other questions? All in favor signify by saying aye. 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 Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Item 22, consider approval of resolution number 2025-22, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Gonzales awarding a contract to Gateway Pacific Contractors to construct the industrial wastewater treatment facility on the amount of $23,584,000, including a contingency budget of $1,646,000. Staff report?
Mayor Rios, council members, this item is yet another major milestone along the path of expanding the city's wastewater capacity. So this, as Mayor Pro Tem Silva mentioned, yes, this item is to award construction contract for the industrial wastewater treatment facility to Gateway Pacific Contractors, $23,584,000. So as the council is aware, the industrial wastewater system is being delivered under two separate contracts. We're constructing the pipeline. And then the item before you is engage a contractor to build the actual treatment facility. The third contract that's mentioned in the staff report related is for the inspection and rehabilitation of the existing 21-inch that basically is of course, takes all wastewater flows from the city. Constructed in 1981, we inspected and cleaned most of it about 10 years ago, and we know that some of the manholes that need to be rehabilitated because of attacking by sewer gas, over the last 40 or more years. So in the industrial wastewater pipeline contract, it was issued for bid last June, and the contract was awarded to Sierra Construction Excavating at your September 3rd council meeting. The contractor began work on November 4th, and they'll complete the project in the next 3 weeks or so. They're basically at 95% complete. We're actually just waiting on some parts to connect the Braga facility to the pipeline. So now for the contract that's under consideration for the industrial wastewater treatment facility, the project was issued for bids on January 15th, and on February 26th, we received an open 6 bids. The bids were reviewed, and the lowest responsive and responsible bid was submitted by Gateway Pacific Contractors. It was great to get 6 bids. The 3 low bids, as you can see in your staff report, very, very close. The third bid was less than 2.5% over the low bid. So it's great to get very tight bids. But unfortunately, we went into this bid opening with a $3 million funding gap, and where the engineer said this to expect their estimate was $20.5 million, and basically the bids came in $3 million over. So with the $6 million shortfall, where were we going to get the additional funding? Well, fortunately, there's room in the sewer rates to request a $6 million amendment that's on top of our $29 million state revolving fund loan. In March, we made an application for that $6 million SRF amendment to the State Water Resource Control Board. We provided them the financial reports for their review. Just today, staff had a meeting with the State Water Resource Control Board. They had a question about our construction loan and how we're managing payments against the existing SRF loan. So we hope that that's the review of our $6 million amendment is coming to a close, and that's initially estimated at a 4 to 8 week effort, and then it needs to go through contracts. So tonight's action is required because we have 90 days for the contractor to hold their bid. So we're just barely within that 90-day to award this contract. So we're waiting on the notice. Let's see, we're waiting on getting the approval of that $6 million, and then we'll be back in front of you to approve the notice to proceed. That's when the meter and clock really start running. So the action tonight is just to award the construction contract, understanding that the notice to proceed will come later when we hopefully, fingers crossed, get the $6 million amendment. So the schedule tonight, of course, award the contract, execute the contract in the next 2 weeks, and then either in late August or September, I think I say September 15th in the staff report for a pre-construction meeting, notice to proceed, mobilization about 2 weeks later at the end of September, with construction expected to be completed June of 2027. So that in conclusion, we recommend you adopt the resolution 2020-25-22, awarding the contract to Gateway Pacific Contractors to construct an industrial wastewater treatment facility, $23,584,000, including a contingency budget of $1,646,000 for unanticipated field changes. That concludes my presentation, and I'm ready for any questions or comments.
Okay, I'm going to put it out to the public first. Anyone from the public have any comments on this topic tonight?
Yeah, this is for the industrial waste over here at the, for the industrial, where all the companies are at, like Man Packing and all that. This what tells me is that the city's probably gonna start raising rates on our water or sewer, you know, because that's a lot of money. So just to pay for it, I'm thinking you're probably gonna come forward with something and say, hey, let's raise the water rates on the public, raise the water rates in the sewer on the public, just to pay for this, right? Shouldn't the people on the other side be paying for it and not the public? Is that what you guys do? I'm asking a question. Is that what's gonna happen? Are you guys gonna raise the water rates and sewer rates?
That was done a long time ago.
Yes.
It's been a long time ago.
It's been a while.
You're not gonna bring it up here in the next month or 2 months?
Mr. Barba, that was on an agenda, geez, I'm trying to remember.
I know you raised it last year. I'm talking about, he's talking about,
Said, so
yeah.
that they raised over a period of time.
so you have an adjustable rate on it.
Yeah.
So it's going up. So when is it supposed to go up again? The water rates and sewer rates? So I restarted.
January 1st of each year.
January 1st, okay.
The
All right,
rate
thanks.
study was a 5-year period,
Yeah.
and rates go up January 1st each year.
So what's the percentage that you raise up every
They
year?
went up 20%. Let's see, they went up 20% last 2 Januaries, and I believe the third one is January 1st of 2026, and then it settles down to 7% increase over the next 2 years.
I think people here in Gonzales are rich, right, to pay for this type of things? Really? Thanks.
You don't have to answer. Okay. See, Anyone else from the public want to comment on this topic? Seeing no one here in the chambers, is there anyone on Zoom?
No comments via Zoom.
Is there anyone on email?
No comments via email.
Thank you. I'll bring it back to the council for discussion or questions. Anyone have questions on this side? None, none, none. Lorraine? I have a question. Patrick, you mentioned something about a $6 million amount that's going to come out of the sewer enterprise fund. Is that what you said?
It's a $6 million amendment that we're requesting on our SRF loan. And we have enough cushion in our existing rates to provide the debt coverage for that. So it's, yes, this is being funded by the sewer rates.
Okay,
That-
but is that amendment, you said something about it has to be approved first?
By the State Water Resource Control Board, yes.
Oh, okay, for the state board. I'm going like, okay. Okay. Cleared up the fog. Thank you. Okay, so I'll bring it back to the council for action.
Approve, I'd like to make a motion to consider approval of resolution number 2025-22 as stated.
And second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 2025-22 as presented. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Item number 23. This is fiscal year 2023-2024 audited financial statements and management report. Staff report?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I know you've been waiting all night for this one. It is actually my pleasure to present to you the audited financial statements for the fiscal year ending June 30th of 2024. We're later than normal, and I promise you that the next year we will not be this late, but we had multiple things that happened throughout the year, making sure that our records were accurate. We had a system change and making sure that that conversion produced accurate financial statements. The first thing I want to do is draw your attention to the first page of the audit. That's the first thing that I do when the auditors present a draft to me. I quickly turn to the auditor's opinion because that's what judges the work that the finance department has done. So tonight, and just to have it on the record, I'm going to read their opinion. And their opinion now, instead of being at the end of the financial statements, it's actually the second paragraph. So these are the auditors, it's the auditor's opinion. In our opinion, the financial statements referred to above, meaning the June 30th, 2024, present fairly in all material respects the respective financial positions of the governmental activities, the business type activities, each major fund, and the aggregate remaining fund information of the city as of June 30th, 2024, and the respective changes in financial position, and where applicable, cash flows thereof for the year then ended in accordance with accounting principles generally accepted in the United States of America. This is what we consider to be a clean opinion. It is not a judgment of the financial status of the city. It means that what we have done is accurately reported the financial statements for public consumption. So that's the good news. I want to walk you through the financial statements and things that I think are of importance to the council. They are certainly of importance to myself and the city manager. So if we go it's the 6th page of the audited financial statements, the balance sheet of the governmental funds. This is where we find the general fund. If you'll recall, I don't expect you to remember, but last year we finished about $30,000 below the required $1 million council reserve. We are now basically $221,000 below that reserve, required reserve, and our fund balance sits right at $779,000. So we are currently not meeting the required reserve set by council. In fact, we declined by another $200,000, and I'll talk about what that is here in a minute. So our general fund is continuing to operate. We're not operating in a deficit as large as we were, but we are continuing to still operate in a slight deficit, and that is continuing to erode that general fund. The following pages, if we go to page 10 of the audited financial statements, this is the statement of our proprietary funds or business type activities, as was mentioned in the opinion. The business type activities are the enterprise funds. These are our water fund, sewer fund, garbage, and the solar energy fund. All funds are operating within their required limits. I would say that they are healthy at this point with their reserves. As was mentioned with the SRF loan, we have anticipated the construction and the rate studies that we have. It will be tight because our required debt service ratio is 1.2, and we're going to be really close to that 1.2. So going forward, we're going to have to really watch our expenses as that plant is completed to make sure that in the sewer fund, we are maintaining our debt service ratio. We don't have any debt in water, or the garbage is basically a franchise fee fund. So we don't have to worry about debt service in that fund. Yeah. Oh, okay. So if you go back flipping a couple more pages to the statement of fiduciary net position, our fiduciary fund is our successor agency. The successor agency, as was just mentioned, is a fiduciary fund. We do not own the funds that are within that fund, the money that is there. That money we collect from the property taxes of the former successor agency. The first thing we do is we pay our debt service that resides within the successor agency, and then all other tax increment is then distributed to the taxing entities. The schools receive about 43%. The city of Gonzales receives about 17%, whereas years ago we used to receive all of it. So this has been, it's one of those things. This has been in place. Successor agent or redevelopment agencies were dissolved in 2012 by Governor Brown, and my plug there has been detrimental to cities and housing ever since. But it is where we are. The following pages, there are a series of pages of notes to the financial statements that then describe our position in the way we handle cash, investments. There's a whole listing of outstanding loans that the city has with individuals. And then you get towards the back, and those are what we call our non-major funds. I do want to highlight the one non-major fund. The assessment districts are combined together. So you have California Breeze, Canyon Creek, that combines for the presentation of financial statements only. It would be the park and the maintenance funds in each assessments in each of these. California Breeze, we've talked about it many times. The park assessment fund continues to operate at a deficit for the fiscal year ending at June 30th of 2024. That fund operated at a deficit of $59,000, meaning that we had spent $59,000 more than the taxes that were, or the assessments were collected. And to date, year to date, we are currently $26,000 ahead of any revenues. We have spent $26,000, so we're in a deficit again this fiscal year. It does not affect the general fund and the fund balance of the general fund, but it does affect the cash of the entire city, because the cash is basically, we're covering that deficit because we're not receiving the revenue to support the maintenance. So let me go back to, I just marked it, the general fund, and what essentially made up that $200,000 shortfall. The shortfall was made up of softening revenues Our revenues came in $95,000 less than anticipated. And the other thing, and I'm sure we'll remember it, although it seems like it was a long time ago, but we had an emergency repair that happened in this fiscal year that resulted in about an $80,000 expenditure that was approved by the council that was not budgeted, and that was the pool heater. So when you add those two things together and just regular operating, that essentially equals the $200,000. I can tell you, we are working on budgeting now. This year is not looking to be much different than fiscal year 2024. But staff is doing an incredible job in trying to hold the line, knock on wood. Hopefully we have not had an emergency this year. I'm hoping that we don't have one in the next 2 months. But revenues are continuing to soften. And so we just need to be aware of that. But as far as this evening is concerned, I'm presenting a clean audit. The takeaway is that our general fund is continuing, our reserve is continuing to erode, not at the same pace, it's got much slower pace. But by council's own action and own resolution, we should not be incurring any additional expenses to the general fund other than what is budgeted until we restore the $1 million. So with that is my good news, bad news report.
Thank you, Mike. I'll take this out for public comment. Anybody from the public would like to comment on this item, please step forward. Seeing nobody rushing to the podium, I'll take it to Zoom.
No comments via Zoom.
Thank you. I'll take it to email.
No comments via email.
Thank you. I'll bring it back to the council for discussion or action.
I have a question.
Mhm.
I know we've been talking about this, and I was under the impression that we had reduced Meyer Park. I mean, I'm almost of the opinion that we should just cut everything off at this point. I know, Scott, I'm sorry. I know it sounds harsh. I don't want to say it like that. I know that sounds harsh.
Just to utter something like that is
I know,
it's heresy, but yeah, okay.
There's so many more,
Yep.
it's a big picture thing and I get it. And I know that's not the right way to go, but
Yep.
there's so many things that I think what my biggest fear is sustainability of our community. Are we going to be able to pay our bills because we have some of these, not Meyer Park, but some of these items that we're paying for that we can't afford? You know, we really can't. I mean, I'm even, as much as I love the pool, I mean, does that mean we should shut down the pool? Does it mean we should shut down some of these programs? I know that our kids are important and I agree that they are, but what's gonna happen if we get to a point where we can't pay for water, sewer, infrastructure of our community? That's my biggest concern. I mean, this is a huge deficit. It really is. So I don't know. I'm asking the question, yes, to everybody on this podium. I didn't mean to start it the way I did, Scott. That was not good. But I do know that there is something that we need to do, or we need to come up with a solution somehow, because it's getting worse and worse. And what's going to happen in 26?
Well, if I could, I mean, I honestly, I was looking to commend staff for doing a great job what they've done to slow it down. Because we are, I mean, to say not, fully on track to get, but the adjustments made this past year, definitely curtailed, city excess spending. As noted, there was one large item in particular at the beginning of last fiscal year that put us on the wrong path. Sure, it's easy to point to. I mean, well, it's kind of not easy, but it's funny to point to the item you point to, which is a very small dollar one compared to number of items that are 10 and 100 times larger than that across the board that we could tighten up on. But that said, you're right there, and that's why we had the strategy session prior to talk about a number of the large, community service items, pool, et cetera. And yeah, the direction was, we don't want to cut those things, but that's an item that's cost us hundreds of thousands of dollars going the wrong direction. But, you know, I'm not gonna say cut the pool, but I do think we're on the right path. And, you know, and I think as was noted, we do need to make sure and maintain that in this next year, 2 years, and, get back to the point where we can get back to our, our full $1 million reserve and so forth. I'm sure there may be things that are gonna come up that the city manager, staff may recommend that we tighten a little more and so forth, and those are, likely things we're gonna look at, but it's definitely not a year where we're gonna go out, we're not gonna be doing anything in excess, but definitely something for us to, continue to look at. But I do think staff's been doing a great job, this past year, gets back on track.
I'm not
Understood.
questioning the
Understood.
staff.
Yeah, I'm just,
It's not my,
yeah,
that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying we as a collective
Yep.
need to figure this out somehow, because when we see things like this happen, I mean, it's concerning, I know that staff has been tightening their belts. I know that they've done everything that they can do to try to figure things out. But again, I don't know. And I know that I'm always the one that kind of brings this up, but I feel like it needs to be discussed. When we hear a resident say, well, we didn't know anything about the sewer and the water. Well, we all know that, we took care of that last year, and it's something that's going to be happening for a while. But some of these other programs, I don't know. I mean, I know we had talked about tax measures, and we can talk about that later, but
If I may, staff is, as you all noted, is really tightening their belts. We're looking at continuously cutting where we can cut kind of the excess spending that, we're looking at it. If it was our own home budget, cutting all wants and only focusing on needs. And we'll continue to do that with the direction that we got from you guys at the strategic session as well. So the other thing I do want to note is not only are we all staff really looking for grants and other ways to supplement. I was going to share, we Pebble Beach Foundation just awarded us $5,000 to support some of our GYC work. So even though they're little chunks of money, we're out there and trying to pull in as much as we can. And the other thing too, that I also want to appreciate community. As you heard, the money raised from the car show is going to be used to supplement work that we've done in the past. So that's really helpful. Community is also starting to step up. I was just mentioning to some of the council members that Meyer Park specifically, some of the folks that use the park for soccer have reached out and said they're ready to start filling the holes there. So this is really what it's going to take for these next 2 years, is community coming forth and saying, hey, we're here. They understand that we don't have the funding to do X, Y, and Z right now. And really, if they want these amenities, they need to contribute. But we are looking at where to continue to slash, where can we cut, what programs can we hold on back on. And we're really reassessing that right now during budget season. And then we'll come forward with any additional efforts. But we're increasing costs where we can. We're decreasing services and programs where we can to make it work.
how about the school programs? After-school programs?
That is one that we are looking at, and the next step is going to be a cost benefit analysis on that. We've increased the cost over and over, but we are at the point where we need to either offset cost or reduce the program, or all in all, see if it's even going to happen next year. I will report out that I did have a meeting with the superintendent. They're not able to take on that cost. So
Not even to share it with us. Not even to share it with us?
So at this point, we are looking at what to do. And as Mike and I really look at all the numbers, we'll be able to come forward with better recommendations and decisions as to, again, are we able to increase fees significantly? Well, where we can level out the program size and maybe increase cost, fees. And if that's not the case, then how do we downscale, et cetera? So that those conversations are going to be had and actually have already been starting. So.
Well, and one of the things that I wanted to say is the community doesn't, if they don't see things change, they're not going to understand. And I think that that's part of the problem, is the community sees us continue doing the things that we've been doing. And then they don't understand that we're trying to make adjustments. I'm sorry, everyone.
And
for
then
being
one more,
cold about it.
one more note, we have engaged a consultant to, look at a measure, in the future. So that work is happening behind the scenes. When that's much more ready to come forward, well, actually in the next month or so, I believe, Mike, is when we're going to be bringing it to you guys for consideration as well, and just update as to what is happening on that. So that path is also being pursued.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Well, I just want to mention that, Carmen, you did mention, the community coming forward. And I'd just like to say that Gonzalez Rotary is coming forward and replacing the small barbecue grills in the park, who are, I don't even know how people can still use them, but they're being used. And, if you go to Central Park, the park is always being used by the community. So that's something that we have made a commitment to do, and we will be, Rob Gallardi is spearheading that, but, and we get periodic reports. So pretty soon we'll have those new grills along with some new tables. And again, no cost to the city. We are handling that. And we've also been very lucky to get some donations from the community as well. So those are the small things that I think we can do. So to really make a difference in.
And I'll allow Chief and Patrick to chime in here if needed, but this is really a great time to, again, highlight how we've been going after additional funding. So currently the roof of the firehouse is under repair, thanks to funding from the county that saw the need, and we made the ask and they supported it. So they gave us $24,000 to help with the roof. It's currently under construction, should be done next week. End of next week. And then, can't thank the county enough. They've been great partners, county and staff and our staff, for really helping us get through the CDBG finish line. And of course, Supervisor Lopez, for also awarding us $630,000 to help the purchase of a fire truck. We're $120,000 short, but I'm asking everywhere I can. So I'm hoping to fill that gap so that we can purchase the truck. So although we are in need financially, I think partners are definitely coming to the table to help us, help our infrastructure where we need it. So just something to also note, and appreciative staff that staff's working hard to, again, fill the gaps that's needed, and then tightening where we can.
Believe me, that is not what I mean. I know how hard you all work. I mean, it's not fair that you guys have to work so hard,
You mentioned declining revenue. I know that the TOT on our restaurants was really dropping. Has that changed at all, or is that still the same?
So the sales tax has been softening. In the largest portion of sales tax that is softening is fuel. Fuel,
Okay.
right. That's driven by a couple of things. It's driven by high fuel costs. It's driven by the economy, and by the increased number of electric and hybrid vehicles that are on the road. And the state has not, as of yet, figured out a way to, while these vehicles still use the roads and so forth, they're currently not paying into the system to repair the roads. That has been an issue in Sacramento for a number of years, and the legislators have not been able to agree on how they would solve that. But our gas tax is reducing on an annual basis, the amount that we have to repair our streets and roads. So.
And my understanding at TAMSI was it wasn't so much the electric vehicles, it was actually the fuel efficiency of vehicles. That, there are more energy efficient vehicles on the market. And so as people drive more energy efficient vehicles, then they don't use as much gas.
And that is true as well. So when you have declining fuel sales, it hurts the city in two ways. It hurts the city from sales tax and it hurts the city in gas tax. It takes away from two buckets of money that the city gets, the sales tax being general fund money and the gas tax being special revenue money that goes towards the repairs of streets and roads. And so it's one of those unintended consequences, but fuel is expected. Fuel purchases are expected to decline over the next several months. As we move into the summer months, this is where we typically actually start seeing fuel go up even more, and we already are at, you know, the plus $5 right now. That is going to cause people to stop driving, to stop going, you know, they're going to stay local. They're not going to go on vacations and so forth.
It's our state. Our state has the highest gas prices, us in New York. I mean, if you look at the data, I mean, it's crazy to see the difference in the gas prices between the states.
Well, and there's a third factor in that is that the state currently has two major refineries that are offline.
What other revenue sources are we, I thought it was sales in restaurants is what I had heard also that.
So, restaurants has not declined that much, but we don't receive that much revenue from restaurants and fast food. Our drivers of sales tax, our largest sales tax is fuel, and then it's ag. So we actually get quite a bit from ag. Now, keep that in perspective. We're a small city. We're not getting millions and millions of dollars of sales tax. So our sales tax is softening, but still holding fairly strong. The TUT, the transaction use tax is starting to decline because car sales are starting to decline again. And in our TUT, car sales has always been a major component because we receive sales tax because the car is registered. If a Gonzales resident purchases a car, let's say in Salinas, we receive it because the car is registered in the city of Gonzales. We receive the TUT tax. So we're starting to see declines. The other that is on the horizon, and we know it's coming, is the Amazon facility in Salinas. That new facility is going to be a point of sale warehouse, meaning what is currently going to the county pool and distributed to the entities is now going to be all captured by the city of Salinas. It will not go into the pool because it's going to be considered a point of sale warehouse. So we're going to see the pool is distributed by population, so we get a very small percentage of the pool, but even our small percentage of our small percentage hurts.
Yeah.
So these are things that are just coming down the pike. Property taxes is another major revenue source for the city, but it's not increasing at a high rate. We are not seeing transfers of property, meaning there are not a lot of sales happening in the city of Gonzales. And that's evident by the property tax transfer, the property transfer tax that we get from the county as each property sells. Ours was less than a couple $1,000s for the last year, meaning that transactions are not happening in the city of Gonzales. People are sticking with their properties.
Wow.
Lulu.
Okay, so do we need to take action on this, Michael?
You need to accept the audit.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not approving it, but the governing body is accepting the audit.
So do we
We need it by
do
motion.
it by consensus or do we do it by
By
motion?
Yeah, by motion.
Do I hear a motion for?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we accept the city and successor agency audited financial statements and management report to fiscal year ending June 30th, 2024.
Second. Thank you, Scott and Maria. It's been moved and seconded to accept this report as presented. Any other questions? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed unanimously. Thank you. We'll move on to the Gonzalez Youth Council updates, number 24.
Good evening, council. Just a quick update on what's going on with the youth council. So far, this upcoming Saturday, we have the South County Youth Summit. I know many of you heard about attending. The South County Youth Summit is essentially an event that's happening in Greenfield with a lot of the support of Gonzalez and Soledad and Greenfield with all the youth councils of South County. It's essentially a youth event for all youth with like financial workshops or overall any workshops, resource fairs, guest speakers. So it's a big event that's going on. I know we've been doing outreach in Gonzalez. We've been doing tabling at the high school. So I see a lot of excitement through that. I'm just overall excited. Me and Valeria are working, especially in the team, and I'm pretty excited. But Valeria, you want to update as well?
Yes, so we have a few workshops going on within the JYC also. The JYC is hosting a Adulting 101 workshop at the summit, so we're very excited to share that curriculum with everybody attending. We're also excited to have a few council members come in attendance as well to the summit, and we're so grateful to have you both, council members Sylvia and also Mr. Rios. As well, we have some other updates regarding the upcoming last JYC meeting, which is going to be this Thursday. As the year comes to an end, we're so excited to introduce the new council members as applications are now open and coming too soon to a close. And we're going to celebrate off with hopefully a dinner with this upcoming week, and also with congratulating our seniors and JYC highlights for like all their accomplishments as scholars and also as JYC members. And our capstone presentation is scheduled for June 2nd, and we're looking forward to sharing our information with all of you during that council meeting. And that's all of our updates for this meeting, and thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Just a quick question.
Sure.
I sent you an email, but I haven't heard a response. Am I okay to be able to leave? Because I have a 2 o'clock and saw that. Okay.
You're okay to leave at 2 o'clock.
Okay.
Took too long to
So, thank you for the update.
Thank you. Moving on to our city council board committee reports. First one is the League of California Cities Monterey Bay Division.
I have nothing to report.
Thank you. Next, we have AMBAG.
Yeah, I filled in for Scott as his alternate. The two most important items were they did pass the 25-26 budget with no opposition. And they did a presentation on the Central California Rural Energy Network, which I believe goes all the way down to San Luis Obispo up to Santa Cruz. It was interesting. One of the things that I kind of found interesting about it is they're trying to come up with different resources for energy to teach our kids. And the gentleman from Soledad said, well, are you coming down to our area to train our people as well? And they said, yes, we're working on it, but we're not quite there yet. And that was a little concerning, but they are working really hard to try to get energy figured out and new types of jobs for the young people that are coming up to work. So that's what I got. It was a great meeting. I mean, I met some new people and it was nice. Thanks, Scott.
Thank you. MST.
They canceled their COVID workplace policy. We canceled that policy. So you no longer have to come in and do all the testing and that sort of thing. They came in, a woman from I don't know if you're all aware of the Science on Wheels project that's in Salinas. And they have come down here. They're asking for another bus because they want to expand that project. The woman, her name is Ishwara Aragan. She's the development director at the Salinas Community Science Workshop. It's such a great program. I mean, it really is. They go in and they teach the kids about different programs, and they try to make it fun for them. And they go all over the county. So they're looking for another bus so they can expand the program. So that's one of them. The other one was, there is an event on Wednesday, May 21st. This is the year that marks the 10th anniversary of Measure Q funding for Monterey Salinas Transit. And this particular event that's happening at the Mobility Center in Salinas is focused on senior citizens, veterans, and people with disabilities. So that event is going to be on Wednesday at 9 a.m. at the MST Mobility Center in Salinas, and I will be attending that event. So that's it for me. I have, then our next meeting is June 9th.
What about the double decker?
Oh my gosh, I completely forgot. Yeah, we had a double-decker bus that they brought in that day. And anyone that wanted to get on the double-decker bus was able to get on, and I was able to. And part of the main reason that they feel that they need this double-decker bus is because of us, South County. We have so many residents in South County from Chular to King City, San Ardo, San Lucas that ride the bus. And we have too many people that get on the bus. They can't all get on at the same time. So this double-decker bus, a large bus will accommodate approximately 45 people. This will add another 30 people for the double-decker bus. So it was kind of cool to kind of get up on there, and we all felt like we were in England. So it was fun. So we were able to do a 15-minute ride around in the double-decker bus. That's all I have. Thanks, Liz.
Oh, thank you. So we will go around the table up here for oral communications. Do you have anything to add, Lorraine?
Not really. I think we covered most everything tonight.
Okay, Jose,
Good.
Scott?
We're good.
Wow.
I think we all.
Maria?
Yes, 2 pages. No, I just,
And I have two behind you, so go ahead.
I just want to congratulate Magali. She graduated this month from Berkeley, so it just seems like yesterday she was sitting across the table here giving her reports as a member of the youth council. But 4th of July, it's about 6 to 7 weeks away, so plans are underway for planning the 4th of July. We'll be having our famous barbecue ribs. A couple of us members have tickets. So just another great celebration to look forward to. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. That was a quick 2 pages. I have a few things. The first thing I just want to report out that I attended the public input session at the police department community room last Wednesday, the 14th, on Vision Zero. Very interesting. There were 3 staff members. Patrick was there. Chief was there, and then an officer was there. I can't remember his name. Melgoza was there. And then a community member, Roger Vosti, and I were there. So very light attended. So we kind of had the floor most of the night and got to have a lot of input on that. There will be more public input sessions forthcoming, both in English and in Spanish. So I encourage our community, when these opportunities come up, don't let them go by, because your opinion matters. Without it, they're not going to know what to do. I had no complaints really in general about our community, but for those of you who have traveled some of the county roads, I complained about some of the issues that I see on the roads that I travel, like Valletta Road, Old Stage Road, Iverson Road,
Shaded Lane.
just to name a few. So anyhow, those were my concerns, my main concerns. And they did answer some questions I had even within our city, since we have one traffic light that seems to like the front end of a semi every once in a while. It wants to be a hood ornament for whatever reason. That's an issue for us. And unfortunately, I'm hoping, I did ask the question, that the insurance companies of those semis do cover those expenses. So, but that doesn't mean they have to keep knocking it over. So anyhow, hopefully that gets remedied. Last Friday was the ribbon cutting for the renovation at the Dick Force Stadium. Sadly, I was not able to attend because I was at the Salinas Valley Fair volunteering my time, but I did see many, many, many photos, and so sad I missed it, but I'm looking forward to watching some football games on a new field this coming year and seeing some track meets. The field is awesome. It's just state of the art, something I never thought I'd see. I was a little girl when we had the opening of the stadium, and now I'm an older girl seeing the renovation. So kind of come full circle there. So go Spartans. The Salinas Valley Fair wrapped up yesterday. As I mentioned, I did volunteer over the last 4 days, saw a lot of things. Saw Scott at the auction on Saturday that kind of went on and on and on and on. But the students that raised their animals, there was almost 900 animals to be sold that day. Yeah, so that's why it was such a long day. Thank you to all the companies and individuals who help these exhibitors take home a good paycheck for the day. So Scott, thank you to you and your company. Next item was senior scholarship night here at Gonzales High School will be this Wednesday night, the 21st. Sadly, I won't be there because I have another commitment, but someone will be there representing our American Legion Auxiliary, which I was going to present one of these scholarships that night. Memorial Day is next Monday, May 26th, a day that we remember all of those who sacrificed and gave the ultimate price for our country. The ceremony at the cemetery will be at 9 a.m. There will be a barbecue at the Legion beginning at 11 a.m. For ticket information, please contact Steve Fellows or Paul Guzman. Graduation. Can you believe it's in your sights, Valeria? Graduation Saturday, June 7th at the Dick Force Stadium. Sadly, again, I won't be there because I'll be at my niece's graduation in the Central Valley, but my heart will be with all of you Spartans that day. And good news I heard today, Adult Swim is back. Begins on Tuesday, June 10th. I'll be first in line, maybe second. And I did hear good news that our chair yoga has been extended through June. So again, I'll be there and I'll be at the pool and I'll pay extra price. Increase the price, I'll pay it. I just think it's very advantageous for our community to have the use of our pool. And it's especially nice to be in there without a lot of splashing going on and just catching up with everybody there. So I'm looking forward to that. And then lastly, I participated in the senior mock interviews today at Gonzales High School. That was a great experience. Tavin was there, Jessica was there, Julie was there. Had a great time meeting these young people who are nervous. And so I had to reassure them, you know what, I'm nervous too on this side. I didn't know them. So it's interesting to hear the array of careers that they all plan to follow. So we have a good group of young people that are going to be taking care of us in a few years, I hope. So thank you for the opportunity, Gonzales High School. That's all I have. City Manager.
I think you took most of my announcements. The only other one really was, yes, pool opening first week of June, the 9th, I believe, or the 10th is the official. And the ribbon cutting this Thursday for the new mural is at 4 o'clock. So hopefully all of you will be able to join us. The muralists will be there. Blue Zones reps will be there. So we're very excited. Hopefully we'll be able to see you there. And that's all I have. Chief Musio, I think, had an update as well. Okay.
I'm going to be doing a couple burns down at the slough. Right now, I'm looking at the mornings of June 3rd and 4th. I want to get them done while the kids are still in school, so I don't have to try to keep them out while we're doing it. Clean up that piece behind the skate park, and then also get the piece by Brewster Field, probably down to somewhere past Calibros somewhere. Before we get ready to do it, we will get out there and let the public know, let all the neighbors along the slough know to keep their windows shut, and we'll take care of it. That's it.
Great, thank you. Any other staff member with any comments tonight? No, not tonight?
I actually just wanted to note for the
There we go.
record that I was remiss in not noting for the record earlier that when it came to item 20 on the agenda, that we had a swap out the resolution that appeared in the council agenda was swapped out this evening. We had to make some minor changes to the
That's this
dates
one?
that were listed in that resolution.
Okay.
So that's the official one that was passed out this evening.
Got it.
Okay.
Thank you, Michael. Do I ask for adjournment? Yes. So do I hear a motion for adjournment?
Second that.
It's been moved and seconded to adjourn our meeting tonight. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Unanimous. Thank you, everyone. Be safe.
Thank you, Liz.